guys, how are you? Welcome to another recipe episode of this channel, Believe, Dream and Inspire. Today we're going to make milk bread. So let's get started. So I've taken 1 teaspoon of yeast and 1 teaspoon of sugar, 4 tablespoons of butter, 4 tablespoons of milk powder and 3/4 teaspoon of salt, warm water, 2.5 cup of maida, and sugar. The sugar is other than the sugar that's with the yeast. The warm water should be warm enough that you can dip your hand in. Now let's start activating the yeast. Now into a bowl, I'm going to mix maida and milk powder and salt, sugar and the butter. And make sure you mix this well before adding the mixture of yeast. I'm so happy that you guys have supported me and you started liking me. When I posted the picture of the bread on my Instagram and my WhatsApp status, many of my friends messaged me asking the recipes. So recipe for this bread. So I thought, why not share with you guys? So that's how this ended up coming into my channel. Now let's add our yeast mixture. So add it slowly, and when you keep mixing this and adding the water, you might think the water is more and you might be tempted to add more of maida, but you do not have to do that. It will be fine. Slowly you can add water, and the dough of the bread should not be like the dough of chapati. It is much lighter than that. So slowly you need to mix it. The more you knead the dough, the more softer and smoother and a good texture of bread you will be getting. So make sure you knead it well. I've started kneading it on my countertop because I felt that much easier. So see, it's getting stuck to my hand, but this is not the exact texture that we are looking for. You need to add more water and then just keep kneading it. You need to knead it at least for a good amount of 20 to 25 minutes. So you will get a good bread. The dough of the bread is having a sticky texture, so that's why I keep adding water and then kneading it. You might be tempted to stop it, or you might be tempted to add more maida, but that's not needed. This is the right consistency that we have. We are just trying to increase the elasticity of the dough. See, it's still sticking onto my hand. You should never add maida to this. You can use a scraper or something to just knead it well. with the help of a scraper or any plastic phone card or anything, and knead it well. When you try pulling it, the dough should be smooth enough. In case if it's breaking, that means you need to knead it a bit more well. So I tapped it onto the countertop. This made the dough a bit more elastic kind of texture, that the same way that we do for parota. That's the texture we need. So I kept on doing it so that it will not break in between. Now when I tried pulling it out, my dough is not tearing off. It's smooth enough. And I just tried. We should not add any oil or any extra maida to this. It should be good enough. Now it's not sticking onto my hand too. Now we need to move this into a bowl and keep it for 1 hour so that it will rise. After an hour, the dough has doubled. You can just pop out the bubbles. You don't have to knead it. You can take it out. And now we need to shape the bread. So now we're just going to shape the bread. The rolling pin might get stuck to the dough, but it's okay. When you keep spreading it out or rolling it out, it will be fine. Over here you don't have to add any maida or oil. It will roll smoothly and it will not tear apart also. So make sure all the sides are equal, having equal thickness. So this bread I've got a nice slice of 16 pieces. So I've got 16 slices after making this bread. So we need to roll it inside, and the sides that is popping out, we need to push it inward, and then the last part we need to cover the whole dough. So while covering the whole dough, make sure it's covered properly so that it won't crack when it's baking. So just pinch it in, or just make sure it will not tear apart or have a crack on it. So I've covered my dough properly. Now I'm just greasing my bread tin. I'm greasing it with oil. You can grease it with butter also. You can use any other shape, it's okay, but since I had my rectangular shaped tin, I'm using it. It gives you a perfect bread shape. Make sure all the dough is evenly placed on the cake tin so that when it rises, it gives you a proper even shape on the bread. So now I'm covering it with a cling sheet. You can also cover it with a damp cloth, it's fine. So you need to keep this for about 45 minutes or 1 hour. I had kept it for 1 hour. It should be until the dough has risen properly to the maximum. So now it is good to go to the oven. So I had preheated my oven in 180 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes, and now I'm going to keep it for 40 minutes in 180 degrees Celsius. So let's see. So I've got a perfect texture now. So that gives you a good texture. Now I've added some oil to it on the top before it cools down. You can add butter to it. So this softens the top portion. You can leave it for 10 minutes just like that on the tin. Look, the bread is soft enough. So it has cooled down a bit. Now you can take it out of the tin, and all the sides are well done. So now you can cover it with a damp cloth or a cling sheet. I forgot to show it. So you can cover it and keep until it cools down properly. So that's the perfect texture. Now let's cut and see how is it inside. So I was just trying to hold it with my left hand. So you could see on the camera, it is perfect. Look at that texture, exactly like you get from the bakery shop. I hope you liked watching this recipe. Please do share, comment, like and subscribe, and do not forget to turn on the notification bell. Thank you for watching.